Why do certain types of leaders repeatedly rise to the top of political systems? Sometimes they are polarizing outsiders. Sometimes they are career bureaucrats. Sometimes they seem almost politically untouchable. Is this simply about individuals? Or could it be that political systems themselves select the kinds of leaders most likely to survive within them? Across history and across very different political systems, similar patterns appear in leadership selection. In some countries, leaders emerge by mobilizing strong emotions and dividing society into opposing camps. In others, leadership is dominated by individuals who spend decades navigating institutions, building networks, and mastering bureaucratic systems. And in some cases, leaders seem to survive political storms again and again, remaining in power despite controversies that might have ended other political careers. These leaders can look very different from each other. Yet the pattern itself raises an important question. If political systems produce such different types of leaders, what determines which type rises to the top? Is leadership mainly the result of individual talent and ambition? Or could it be that the structure of political systems shapes which personalities are most likely to succeed within them? Political systems are not neutral environments. They create rules, incentives, and competition structures that determine how leadership contests unfold. And just like in economics or biology, competition inside a system creates selection pressure. Political systems, therefore, do not simply produce leaders randomly. They select for the individuals most capable of succeeding within their rules. In systems where leadership requires mobilizing large numbers of voters, individuals who are effective at emotional persuasion and mass communication may gain an advantage. In systems dominated by complex institutions and bureaucracies, leaders who excel at navigating procedures, building alliances, and managing administrative power may rise more easily. The individuals who reach the top often reflect the structure of the system itself. A particularly sharp version of this dynamic was described in 1944 by economist Friedrich August von Hayek in The Road to Serfdom, in a chapter titled, Why the Worst Get on Top. Hayek was analyzing systems moving toward extensive central planning and totalitarian control. His argument was that such systems face a fundamental political problem. If a government seeks to direct large parts of society according to a single plan, it must mobilize large, unified political support behind that plan. But societies are diverse. People hold different values and priorities. According to Hayek, this creates strong incentives that favor certain types of political leadership. Large movements often unite around the lowest common denominator, because highly independent or intellectually diverse individuals rarely agree on a single set of goals. Movements also tend to grow by attracting those who are most easily mobilized by simple narratives and repeated propaganda. And large groups often unite more easily around shared hostility toward an enemy than around complex constructive programs. Together, these dynamics create a powerful political selection mechanism. As movements radicalize and power becomes more centralized, leadership increasingly favors individuals who are most willing to use propaganda, coercion, and moral compromise to maintain control. At the same time, individuals with strong moral reservations may withdraw from leadership roles because achieving power requires actions they are unwilling to take. The result, Hayek argued, is that such systems can gradually elevate the most ruthless and unscrupulous individuals, not by accident, but because the system rewards precisely those traits. Before we continue, if you don't want to miss future episodes and want to join the community exploring these ideas, please like and subscribe. More recently, historian and complexity scientist Peter Turchin has studied how these dynamics evolve over long historical cycles. In works such as Ages of Discord, Turchin describes a phenomenon called elite overproduction. Over time, expanding education, economic growth, and institutional development produce increasing numbers of individuals who aspire to elite status. But the number of positions at the top grows much more slowly. Competition among elites intensifies as more rivals enter the arena. In this environment, leadership competition changes. Rival factions compete more aggressively for influence, status, and access to power. Political narratives become sharper, and conflicts between elite groups increasingly spill into the broader society. Those who are most effective at mobilizing supporters and dominating political conflict gain an advantage. The selection pressure inside the political system becomes stronger. This helps explain why late-cycle societies often experience rising polarization and more confrontational leadership styles. Not necessarily because societies suddenly change their values, but because competition inside the system has intensified. Taken together, these perspectives reveal a deeper principle. Political systems create selection environments. Just as markets select certain companies and ecosystems select certain species, political systems select the individuals most capable of competing within their structures. Leaders are therefore not only actors shaping the system, they are also products of the system that selected them. If political systems shape the type of leaders who rise to power, what kind of leaders does our system reward today? Elite selection is part of TNBC Explainers Module 2, Power, Governance, and State. Explore the TNBC Explainers course via the YouTube course list, or visit thenextbigcycle.world for the full course overview and background. This is The Next Big Cycle, TNBC Explainers, your guide to understanding the systems shaping the world around you. TNBC Explainers is a growing YouTube course. New concepts are added over time,